You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Animal Party is brought to you by Petco.com. Petco is a leading specialty retailer of premium pet food supplies and services, offering more than 10,000 high-quality pet-related products. Enter the code PARTY10, P-A-R-T-Y, the number 10, and get 10% off any order. No minimum at Petco.com.
Hello! Welcome to the party. Oh yeah, I hope you got your party clothes on. I hope you're ready to party hardy with us. Don't be tardy for this party. This party is all about cats and dogs and other animals too. So it doesn't matter what you've got. This party is for you. Our guest today is Stacy Mantle from Pets Weekly. And she's coming to us today to talk about two things that I'm really, really interested in. A car and some furniture. Now, when do I ever talk about cars and furniture on my show? Never. So we'll explain what that has to do with animals, and we'll be talking about that. Her website reviews products. So without ever having to spend $1, you can figure out what's right for you and what's junk and what's good and valuable and what you need to have and what you could probably do without. So her site's a great place to go to. Plus, it has all kinds of things. Fun, quizzes and games and quotes and jokes and all that kind of stuff. And I did get an email saying, how come you don't always tell party jokes? We want more party jokes. So I will definitely tell a couple of party jokes today, starting right now. Okay, here's one from a 10-year-old. What did the cat receive after it made a movie? An Academy Award. Well done, Tanya. Nice joke submission. Okay, so moving right along, let's go back to the show. And we're going to welcome Stacy Mantle coming on to the show. Welcome, Stacy.
Hello, Deborah. It's great to be here.
Have you got your party shoes on?
Absolutely.
Did you come in a Toyota?
I did.
Okay. Yep. Now, what's so special about this Toyota? Why are we talking about a car on Animal Party?
Toyota has come out with an entire line of pet-friendly vehicles, which is an amazing thing. We're loving that. And the whole new line, well, the new line is available now, most of them. There's a few more models. I believe it's the Highlander that's coming out next year, but it's going to be out in October. I don't know how the new car thing works out. And all of them are outfitted completely with Kurgo accessories for all of our pets. And that helps with the whole pet safety campaign that Toyota's working with right now. They've made pet safety a priority.
You don't have to buy. I see. So you don't have to buy separate accessories, or you don't have to worry about your dog in the back of a pickup. Everything is the right way it's supposed to be, secure and fitting and to size.
Exactly, and it's
nice.
Even the vehicle itself is designed to be lower to the ground so that pets that are older have an easier time of getting in. They don't need the ramp; they can still get in very easily. There's just some amazing things that they're doing with this. They flew us out to California, gave us the whole thing on Toyotas, talked us all through the new line. It was really just an amazing event, and I learned a lot about pet safety. I got to be honest with you.
They flew you out to California. Nice job, Casey.
It was all work, let me tell you. They took us around to see all the vehicles. It was really an amazing time. We learned so much about pet safety, and I learned a lot, which I thought I was pretty up on pet safety, especially when it comes to traveling. And they've got pet experts down there that they've consulted to make these vehicles the ultimate safe vehicle for pets and people.
A lot of people get hurt by dogs that aren't secured properly because when a fender bender or even a small or big collision happens, the dog goes flying. And you might think, well, my dog's only 20 pounds or only 50 pounds or only 10 pounds. But whatever that weight is, moving at the velocity of cars on impact is enough to kill anybody. It can go through the windshield of the other driver. The dog certainly needs a seatbelt to keep it safe. But the other people on the road, too, are at risk when your dog isn't properly secured, or even your cat. So you have to have your pet safe. And I think for most cats, riding in kennels is the way to go, little carriers.
I have to agree with that.
So you've been to Toyota, and the other exciting thing in your life, the new thing, I'm told, is Catio. What a cool name. It's not a jazz band, though, is it?
No, it's not. No, Catio Furniture is the new way to go with, you know how everybody's building the outdoor cat enclosures, and we're doing some fun things with that. it's a great way to have your pet get interactive outdoors safely. And I'm a huge activist of getting your animal outdoors, as long as it's done in a safe way. And especially with cats, they need to be contained. They need to have a special area they can go into. But they need places to lay down there while they're outside. So this new line of furniture allows our pets to do that.
Is it modular, Stacy? Does it fit together?
These are actually made out of lodgepole pine. And so you get the really nice looking, rustic looking lodgepole pine beds and bunk beds and canopies. And it's all designed for the outdoor kitty. Completely weatherproof. It's a great way for your cat to get outside and be off the ground and really enjoy time outdoors within a safe environment.
One of the top health problems facing cats today is obesity. And the reason they're obese is because they got nothing to do. They've got no way to exercise. We want to keep them inside to keep them safe, but really, how many minutes a day do you spend entertaining your cat and making it run and pounce? And are you able to really exercise the kinds of muscles and reactions and the kind of workout your cat would get from chasing a mouse through a field? Are you going to be able to do that in your house? Probably not. But if you get it outside, well, now your cat gets to see birds and stimulated and is in the outdoors and it has things to do. So I think these are great options for indoor cats. You're gonna get lots of time with them in these outdoor enclosures, lots of cuddling and lots of affection, but you're also going to get rewarded with the fact that they're going to lose weight, and that can't be bad.
Absolutely, and these are a great way to keep them active. We hang little toys from ours, and it just keeps them stimulated. It lets them see the wildlife outside and just kind of interact without being in danger, which is a great way for cats to lose weight and to get some exercise and to help their minds.
Well, many people listening probably think one of two things. They think, well, I wouldn't want to do that because then my cat will become a darter because he's dying to get outside and I don't want to encourage him. Okay, well, if there's a place he gets to go outside, he won't be so intense about getting out the other places. Imagine if you were confined and never allowed to leave the house. You'd want to get out too. So that's the answer to that type of cat. And then there's the other type of cat a lot of people have where they say, oh no, my cat is way too afraid of going outside. He would never go outside. Well, that's exactly the kind of cat that would love an outdoor enclosure because it's protected and safe. Just hang out in there with the door open to it and be there. Bring some things out there that your cat likes, like bedding, things that smell like him, things he loves. Have some food out there and some water and maybe a scratching post and maybe some litter so it's totally comfortable, like another cat space. And just let it be. It might take weeks if your cat's really scared. It might happen quicker than you realize. Might be checking it out when you don't even know it. But before long, if you put some catnip out there and make it a happy place and go sit out there, your cat will discover it. And I bet you find he really likes it.
Yeah, it's a great way to go. And we are giving one away.
So everybody listen up. If you like the sound of this, you might want to win one of these beautifully pine-crafted, all-weather cat patios, and they call them catios. And how do they do that, Stacy?
All you have to do is go to Feline Furniture on Facebook, and you can even email it directly to them. If you have a photo of your cat who needs to get outdoors and you want to try it out, they're going to send one out to a lucky winner, and we're going to be running that contest for, I believe, 3 days. I will double check that.
All right, so this prize we're giving away, the catio, how much is this worth? What's the value of our prize?
This is a $150 value.
Oh, nice. So you can win something for your cats, make them perfectly happy, outside and safe, just by going to petsweekly.com or, Stacy?
FelineFurniture.com.
FelineFurniture.com. So there's 2 ways to enter. Check it out right now. I think your chances are good. Your chances are good. The contest is just beginning, exactly timed with the airing of this podcast. So if you're just hearing this new, if you've got the widget and you're getting this podcast directly, you're one of the first to enter. Go for it. You might win something amazing for your cats. Okay, so I was dismayed to find out that it's really unlikely that cats will get returned from shelters. If they end up there, it's only 2 to 5% that get returned. And it's 8 times better for dogs. If they get into a shelter, they're likely to get returned 8 times more often. They're returned with a good outcome to their owners. And I find that really distressing considering so many shelters are so full that there isn't even a day wait. Cats are put down the same day in Massachusetts. When they get to a shelter, they're exterminated or killed the same day they arrive. And so I really want to get the word out to people. You need ID on your cats. I know some cats say they don't want their collars, and people say they're worried the cat will get hung up in a tree. In all the years I've been doing this and all the experts I've interviewed, I've never heard or seen or met anyone where that happened. What I have seen is that there's only 14% of the cats coming into shelters have ID on them. Now, some of the microchips work and some don't. It's not going to work if you don't update your address with the system. So be smart about this. You know, if you've got something in case of emergency, you have to keep it up to date or it won't find you. But I just want to put the word out. 43% of dogs are walking around with dog tags, but only 14% of cats. So if it's a problem of the collar, because 95% of the people interviewed said they don't put a collar on their cat because of the collar. If it's a problem of the collar, go to Pets Weekly and check out some of the collars. And I think we might have another giveaway today, don't we?
We do. Sirius Republic has stepped up, and it's Sirius, Sirius Republic.
Okay, so hang on to that. Our trivia question today. What popular actor in a recent series plays the part of something that is the same thing that he owns as a pet and the same thing that he embraces as a cause? Who is this person? And what's he all about? Can you figure it out? We've got to go to commercials, and we'll be back to the party. Don't miss this party. You're about to figure out how to win some awfully cool prizes. Come back to our party.
Don't go anywhere, because the best is yet to come. Stick around.
Hey, boy, how you doing? What am I doing? I'm creating your own life book. It's a website that's just for you. Remember that picture I took of you pulling off Lisa's bathing suit? Yeah, I know, me too. I'm putting that awesome picture on your life book page. We'll see what comments we get. And that great video we took of you standing on the table with your head inside the turkey? That's definitely going on there. No, it's easy. It only took me 2 minutes to set up your page. I chose a great theme, and I can connect with millions of other pet parents. I can also create a memorial life book. No, not for Grandma, but we can make one for Fluffy, remember her? And we can even put links to our favorite pet charity, and friends can make donations. People can create their own life book for their pets by going to petliferadio.livingyearspets.com, or they can sign up on the Pet Life Radio homepage. Where's Lisa? She's outside by the pool. Hey, come back here! Create your own life book for your pet. petliferadio.livingyearspets.com.
Welcome to Sassy Seniors, a show about our fabulous older dogs and cats. I'm your host, Kelly Jackson. I wanted to create a show to really showcase our senior pets. And, as the human population ages and lives longer, of course, so are our wonderful pets. But many of us with aging pets, it's so interesting. We have a tough time realizing or really admitting that they are seniors. So, in a way, I kind of like to think of our senior pets as wise puppies. What do you think about that? Be sure to join us for another edition of Sassy Seniors. And remember, celebrate your senior pets.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
You're inside the VIP room.
With the hottest party in town.
Back to the party.
Let's go!
Hello! Welcome back to the Animal Party. We are partying with Stacy Mantle from Pets Weekly magazine. And she's got an online website, petsweekly.com, where you'll find the reviews of the best products out there, including Toyota's new line of cars that are pet-friendly, and also what we're talking about today, catio furniture. And now for our third item featured today and our second giveaway. What have you got to tell us about, Stacy?
Sirius Republic has stepped up to donate 3 collars to 3 winners for whoever has the rattiest collar, dog collar or cat collar. They're going to be giving away 3 collars to the 3 people that have the rattiest dog collars that they post online. So they want to see pictures, they want to hear comments on their Facebook page about the rattiest dog collar and why you need yours replaced. and they're going to be selecting 3 people to win their choice of a dog collar for their pups. Or
oh, I love that. I love that. And it's too bad it doesn't come with a smell feature, so we could smell these collars, because I'm sure they stink really bad when they get that ready.
Oh, I know that mine get really bad. My dog loves to swim, and so it's constantly the dry, the wet, the dry, the wet. It's not good. So we go through a lot of collars over here.
It's interesting. I've been asked this on air a few times, and so I'll just pretend somebody called in and asked me this right now. I've been asked about why dogs love their collars so much. It's kind of controlling them, and it's if anything, binding them. It shouldn't be something they want. And initially, many dogs don't like it when they're puppies. You have to try with no tags on it first and let the dog lead you at first and gradually get him used to it before you start any kind of pulling. And ideally, you start so young, you never do have to pull. You just call the dog, and it learns to try to be with you and accepts the collar. But what happens, too, is the collar smells like them. The collar sounds like them. That's a big thing. The chink, chink, chink of the tags, they get really used to that, and they like the sound of their collar. And when it's not on them, they don't feel quite themselves. It announces their presence. It becomes really part of them. So it's an interesting thing. And with cats, if your cat is obstinately trying to get rid of the collar all the time and the tags all the time, try putting a little Velcro on the tags so they stick together. Or stick them right, Velcro them so they stick after they've been hung. They also stick to the band of the collar. Or buy the kind of collar that allows for the tags to be sewn in or placed inside inserts. Then there's no jingling, because cats really don't like to be announced. They like to be a little more low-key about their arrivals and departures. They're smaller predator animals, so they're also prey. So they like to be a little more discreet about their comings and goings, and that could be your problem if you're having problems with it. So we've talked about doggy transportation, dog-friendly transportation, Toyota, and we've talked about cat enclosures that get your cat outside safely, Catio. And now we've talked about the serious dog collars. So what else is up and coming for dogs and cats on your website?
Well, I think that the general theme is that what are the trends right now, and really those are the trends. And the next trend is going to be recyclable toys and recyclable beds and all that natural stuff that pets need and that we need as to help our environment. So
I've noticed these plastic recyclable beds, and I can't imagine they'd be very comfortable. Have you seen any of the plastic recyclable beds? Are there any good ones out there?
I'll tell you, I just got one in, and I was absolutely, completely impressed. It's from Worldwide, and it's Pooch Planet is where you can find these beds, and it's made out of a recyclable plastic. Their cat beds are made out of soy.
And okay, so cat beds are made out of soy. Do the cats eat the soy? No, it's been altered.
No, it's all natural. It's typical. If they're going to chew a regular bed, they're probably going to chew this one, and it's just about as dangerous as if they chew a regular bed. So you need to make sure they're not chewers. But it's not going to create any more of a problem than it normally would. Now, what I've found is that the cats and the dogs don't seem to chew it as often because I guess it doesn't smell like the wool or the stuffing they use in regular beds.
There's that. And, oftentimes the things we buy for pets have glue made from animal fat. And so when you buy a cheap tennis ball and you toss it to your dog and he rips it apart, it's not because he doesn't like fetch, because it smells like animal fat. So he wants to eat it.
See, I learned something today.
There you go.
Now, these beds, each bed uses the equivalent of 45 plastic bottles. So now it's not like the bottles are stuffed in there. These are all, it's processed, it's the whole thing, but it's using recyclable bottles. And it is the softest bed, I'll go ahead and say it, the softest bed that I've found. My dog weighs about 85 pounds. He climbed into
What kind of dog is
bed. He's a Chow Redbone mix.
And what's his name?
Chase.
Okay.
Chiss. Yeah, he's short for Cochise, but turns out he likes to chase balls. So be careful what you name your pet, right?
He renamed himself.
He's another rescue. Yeah, he's another rescue. And
it fits him well? He likes it? Okay.
He loved it. He crawled into this bed that was 3 times too small for him and just had his head and his tail extended over the other side of it. It was hilarious.
I find it interesting how both dogs and cats will fit themselves into really small places. And part of it is because in cold climates and cold times of year, that makes them warmer. They pick a really small, a large, spacious dog kennel is really hard for the dog's body heat to keep warm, whereas something that's really compact. But it's also security. They can, if it has only one opening and it's surrounded on all sides and it's dark and covered and just the size they are, they know nobody else is in there. And nobody else can get in there. So the same with the bed. There's no sharing of that bed. If he picks a big bed, somebody else might try and squeeze in there. I'm guessing in your home there's a few candidates.
We've got quite a few. The cog is the worst. The cat who thinks she's a dog. We call her the cog. And she takes over everything that he has. She'll just annoy him to no end. And she loves doing it. So we just got her own bed, which is soy-based, and it's a soy foam, which replaces all the oil-based chemicals that normally is built with this stuff.
Right.
And this is used in organic, sustainable material, which is just great. I mean, I love all their toys. I love their entire product line. So you can go to Pooch Planet, or you can go to smartycat.com, and it's KAT.com. And they have just a ton of things that they've broken out into meeting all of your pet's needs. That includes, they've identified major areas that your pet needs in order to survive and live a happy life, and that includes like independence, nutrition, exercise, hygiene, health, rest, safety, chew, training.
Okay, well, you know what? We have to go to another commercial, and then we'll be back one more time, and just listen to a few messages from our sponsors. But when we come back, I'm going to ask you about some of the skin solutions, because there's people all over now dealing with heat like never before. In Russia, in Europe, all over America, heat waves, even here in the rainforest. It's been dry for a record number of days, and it's really hot. I'm happy to report, by the way. But it is a problem for a lot of dogs. Black dogs can find it really hard in direct sun. But even more critically, any dog or cat with bald spots, white spots, pink spots, brown spots, any of these sort of areas of the body that lack hair, like on their nose often, those areas are going to maybe get skin cancer if you're not protecting them. Now, most cats are smart enough to stay in the shade and not go sunbathing in the heat of the day. But our dogs, we take them with us everywhere. And out of loyalty and love of what we're doing, they'll hang out with us on a sunny beach. So you really need to think about it before you go. If it's a heat wave and it's hot and sunny like this, then you probably need shade. You probably need to bring one of those umbrellas you poke in the sand, and you probably need to take him swimming often. But don't just rely on the water cooling him to make you think, well, he seems happy. If he's completely exposed to the sun all day, that's not what dogs would do. They just wouldn't. They can't. They can't handle it. And the older the dog, the younger the dog, the real young and old can't handle it at all. They'll get minor heat stroke if you're lucky, but they might have a real stroke if you're not lucky. So really, hold off on the excessive exercise, the big-time workouts. Do them in the morning or the evening. If you have a dog over 10, skip it till the weather cools. Just don't do it at all. Go for nice evening walks and morning walks. Do your workout without your dog this week, this month, until the weather cools down. He'll be happier for it. And, when we get back, we're going to talk about what you can do if your dog is maybe a golden retriever who never leaves the pond and is always wet, and every summer the whole neck and shoulders and head turn into a giant, big, stinky, hot spot, bald and oozy. Okay, if that's you, you're going to want to keep listening. And if that's not you and you have a dog that swims a lot, probably want to listen because it might be you in the future. So stay tuned. Listen to our sponsors, and we'll be back to the party with Pets Weekly Magazine and Stacy Mantle.
Don't leave this party before it's over, because the best is yet to come. Only losers leave the party early anyway. Party on. Back in a few.
Animal Party is brought to you by 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. 1-800-PET-MEDS is your best source for pet medications, vitamins, supplements, and pet supplies. Get great savings, fast service, and free shipping. Go to petmeds.com/party, PARTY, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more.
Want to know what cats like to eat for breakfast? Mice Krispies, of course. Learn everything there is to know about cats on Catitude with your host, Tom Dock. Each week, we'll spotlight a cool cat breed, give up-to-date advice on cat health, and check out spiffy new cat products. So curl up on the couch every week for a perfectly enjoyable time on Catitude. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
You're inside the VIP room.
With the hottest party in town.
Back to the party. Let's go.
Hello! Welcome back to Animal Party. We're here with Stacy Mantle from Pets Weekly, and she's going to tell you how to help your itchy, scratchy, uncomfortable pets. What are they going to do? What have you got that's new for them on Pets Weekly that'll help them with their fleas and their ticks and their sunburns and their hot spots?
Well, like you, I'm a big fan of the non-steroidal, non-horrible stuff for your animal type of a solution. And it's very hard to find things that will work in an all-natural base. But I have found something. Dermagic is absolutely wonderful for dogs and cats, which is highly unusual to be able to find anything for cats. And they have an entire line of products that, from anti-dandruff, Dead Sea salt scrub to these shampoo bars that are just absolutely miraculous. And hot
Dead Sea salt scrub. Are you kidding me? Dead Sea salt scrub.
I'm not.
I want that in my
wonderful. It's really, I know, and actually you could probably do. Well, I have. I have used it in a bathtub because I always test stuff for myself too to make sure I'm not going to freak out.
Yeah, they send me samples. I know where that's going.
It's wonderful. Yeah, and it allows you to get all those dead skin cells off of your dog, and it just allows that hard scrub, which feels really good to the dog. It's like this really, the salt scrub that you would get in a massage or in a spa. It's the same kind of concept, and it works wonderful if you have white flakes on your dogs, those little white flakes that are so gross, little dandruff things. It's
it's strange that you're talking about using products for dogs on people, and most of the time that's actually not a bad idea. I wouldn't do it with children or babies, but I do it with myself all the time. It's not so good to go the other way, though. There are some things cats and dogs are sensitive to that humans aren't. Now, most of the time, it's sad to say, a lot of our products are actually tested on animals. So if something you want to use, like, for example, I got this lip gloss in the mail from a company that wants me to sponsor them, New Hemp. And I know it's supposed to be for dogs. I can see that, okay? And Hip Lips, it's called. But I read the ingredients. It's all Canadian organic hemp seed oil and organic sunflower seed oil and mango butter. I went through it all and I decided, you know what? This is good enough for my lips. And so I think a lot of times you can do that. But when it comes to sunscreen, don't be using your own sunscreen on your dogs. Dogs are very sensitive to zinc. And unlike us, dogs and cats, they lick themselves. So if you're using something topically, you really want to stick with pet products on pets. Okay, so let's hear what else we've got there. What's for the hot spots?
Okay. On the hot spots, we have from Dermagic again, the hot spot cream and the hot spot salve, which is amazing stuff, and it works on a variety of things from mites and mange to just hot spots. Now, I have just specifically the hot spot lotion, which I use just for hot spots. So I've treated rescue dogs with mange with this hot spot salve and cell restoration cream, and it's actually stopped this continuation of the mange, which, that's a horrible thing to have to deal with in an animal. I had a cat that had flea allergies that lost part of its tail fur, the very tip. He'd been starting to pull his tail fur out. And I put some of the hot spot rescue lotion or the feline skin rescue lotion on. Absolutely grew back within a couple of weeks. He just stopped chewing it, and it was perfectly back to normal within a couple of weeks. I loved it. It's great stuff.
Well, when you find herbal remedies that work, they work really well on animals. And animals don't necessarily do as well on drugs as we think. Sometimes we think, okay, our dog has a huge hot spot, we take it to the vet, and you should. You have to take it to the vet when it's bad like that. And they shave them all up, and they clean it all up, and they tell you how to shave and clean it, and they put a bell collar on them, and they give them the prednisone, and you go home. They give them antibiotics, too. Now, if you're lucky and it's your first time, you might just get 10 days of antibiotics, and that's the end. Okay, good ending. But if the dog comes back again and again, eventually they'll put him on something called prednisone, which is the kind of drug that you'd be grateful for if you were dying of cancer and needed it to stop your tumors or something like this. There's lots of reasons why it's a good drug, but it's definitely drastic. And if there's other ways, they'll also put you on prednisone for other things like flea allergies and for chronic ear infections. And it's true, it will stop the problem. but it causes many, many, many other problems, including behavioral problems. Changes the animal's personality completely. And in dogs, it makes them ravenously hungry. They're like walking vacuum cleaners. And they get in trouble all the time. They're in the garbage and they're begging and they're always, and all they can think about is food. They stop fetching. They stop playing. It's all about food. You let them go in the park, they run to the garbage can. It gets very frustrating for owners, but they think that's the only solution. And I'm much like, that is sometimes what you have to do. But then try and, with your vet, get them off that. Try and, with your vet, get back to the good health. And that's probably going to require a diet change. If you've had a chronic problem that's constantly manifesting itself, you probably need to find what in the diet is setting your pet up for this problem and then get out of that. So try different foods and see what helps, what works better. Another problem is the grooming. If you've got a dog that's constantly wet all summer long, I think that's great. All power to you both. Your dog will be grateful to you for that. But then you might need to clip him. You might need to cut with scissors his fur in the most hairy parts so that they dry better. And you have to be conscious of letting him fully dry, not letting him go to bed soaking wet, of using some kind of cleanser, proper cleanser, the kind you antibacterial cleanser, and really scrubbing the areas if ever a hot spot manifests itself so that you're on it before it ends up becoming something drastic and difficult. And these products that Stacy's talking about are tested and approved by the companies that launch them, but also Pets Weekly. And so now you're getting something that actually works. So let's hear, what can they do for the hot spots?
The hot spots, definitely the hot spot salve. Now, I don't know if you have ever experienced a problem when a dog gets clipped really close and their skin kind of turns black underneath. Have you ever had that issue?
No, but I've had infections from clippers from the groomers. I've had that before with some of the dogs I've cared for. Right. Got to be really careful. Just like pedicures and manicures, where you go for your spa treatments, your groomer, if you've got a good one, is cleaning all the utensils every time between dogs and switching blades often so they don't get too hot. If you've got a dog who's a little bit prickly at the groomer, try a different groomer, because you might find that somebody else is taking more care. And if it looks dirty, walk out the door.
Yeah, and it causes a lot of problems. It's basically injecting cells underneath the skin, just underneath the dermio, whatever it's called, part of the skin, that's creating all these infections and problems and causing this blackness. And it can be confused with Cushing's, which is, as you know, a very devastating thing to treat. So this is something to be aware of, and I think with your readers and your listeners, they do have some stuff that can treat this. The peppermint and tea tree oil, shampoos, the conditioners, that type of thing works really, really well with this. And you can also get that at Dermagic. That's just something that's come up recently that I've seen a lot of. And during the hot summers, I think it's really important to be aware of those as well.
So you've been telling us all about these great things, all about these companies and products that we can get. Now, what about you? I know you wrote a great book. Let's hear about that, please.
My book is Conquering the Food Chain, Living Amongst Animals Without Becoming One, and it's kind of a long title, but it's all about living with a coyote. I had a coyote wolf hybrid that we just lost recently, which is devastating, but he was a great dog. He was 17 years old, and he had a great life. And he had a lot of great stories while we had him. He was definitely a challenge and difficult to work with, and with 14 cats, it's proved to be a lot of great fodder for stories for us. So
I think a lot of people think that coyote crosses or wolf crosses will be extra fierce, that they'll be really macho and tough and confident dogs. And those people, if that's what they're looking for, they should be getting a big stock dog like an Akita or a Mastiff, or maybe even a guard dog like a Rottweiler, which is also a stock dog. But the coyote wolf crosses, they're timid creatures. They are not comfortable with the sounds and noises and smells of man. And you will find at every turn that they are brilliant at opening things and getting into things and getting out of places and very, very good at killing things quite quickly when they shouldn't. So you really got to be on your toes if you've got a wolf or a coyote in your house. And that ties us into the trivia question of the day, which I'm going to solve. I asked it earlier in the show, and I'm just going to solve it right now. The answer to our trivia question today, the question was, what popular actor in a recent series plays the part of something that is the same thing that he owns as a pet and the same thing that he embraces as a cause? Who is this person? And what's he all about? Can you figure it out? Well, here's the answer. The answer is, it's Taylor Lautner from Twilight. He's a film actor, and he plays a werewolf, a big, powerful werewolf. And he also has a wolf hybrid as a pet. And he's also a spokesperson for causes that benefit wolves. So if you're a fan of his, then rightly so, I would think. There's a man who definitely understands the power of the wolf. Stacy's just telling me that my trivia question was actually a trick question, because the answer could have just as easily been
Kristen Stewart, who plays Bella in Twilight. And as avid Team Jacob fans over here at Pets Weekly, of course, we're big fans of Team Jacob, the werewolf. Yeah, you got to know that. Kristen Stewart played Bella, and she's a big advocate of wolf hybrid rescue as well, and owns 2 of them herself.
Now, the reason they need rescuing is because they really are a lot to handle. And people sign up for them all the time, and people breed them intentionally and sell them, and then they end up homeless. The wolf you meet, the puppy, is not the same as the dog you're going to get when it's 2. But not only that, scientific research and behavioral research has shown that, unlike dogs, wolves continue to develop and change throughout their life. So a 4-year-old wolf cross is not the same dog he was when he was 2. And a 7-year-old wolf cross is not the same dog he was when he was 2. And you got to be adapting and adapting. There's no room in that kind of life for little kids or your job. I mean, they need a pack. They don't want to be alone, ever. You know, it's a serious, serious commitment. So I'm so happy that these stars are showcasing this, and that they're actually people with these kind of means are taking care of these animals who really need rescuing. But you don't want to go out and order one. You don't want to buy one. You definitely, if you like the look of one, then a German Shepherd will do you nicely. And there's plenty of those German Shepherds and German Shepherd crosses available. Right now, more than ever, you can get any kind of dog or cat, any kind, any fancy breed, any age, any gender, any kind you want through rescue. There's that many homeless animals right now. So don't even worry about it. Just go for it. Get the fancy breed you've always wanted. You can find one that actually needs a home. So we've kind of described a few ways the Toyota's new line of vehicles is meeting the needs of pet owners, but we haven't really talked about how it's custom made. So you order one of these, and they want to know how big's your dog, how many dogs you got, what sports do you play? Is that right? They actually want to know this?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. They want to make this the best experience for you and your pet, and the only way to do that is to know what your individual experience is like. So if you do a lot of travel with animals, they want to make sure that animal is secure, that you're secure, that, it helps them out because, insurance too. I mean, it helps insurance. So it just helps everybody. They will design the truck according to, the features of the truck, the additions to the truck with cargo products. So if you have a bigger dog and you just need a cargo net, like to stop them from coming up front, your dog likes to wander around, they're going to make that adjustment. If you have a smaller dog that likes to be not in a cage but to still be secure, they're going to show you some really neat options that they can put into the truck specifically for your pet. And if you have a crate that needs to be secured, because crates should be secured, then you need, they're going to tell you all about that. So if you did get in an accident, you would be covered. Your pet would be covered, and the people that were in the accident with you would be safe.
All right, Stacy. It's been a great show. Thank you so much for coming to the party.
Hey, thank you.
I hope you had fun.
Oh, we had a blast. Of course, we always do.
So I'll have you back on when we've got more to talk about. And I really hope one of my listeners wins those giveaways. I really hope so. Are you going to feature them or something? Will I be able to tell who won?
You know what? I'll tell you what. We'll send you an email and let you know who won, and that way you can get it announced again. How's that?
Maybe we can even have them come on the show, talk about what they won.
Fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. So you got to take pictures of your ratty dog collars, and where do they send those?
They send those to either Pets Weekly or SeriousRepublic.com or on Facebook for either one of us.
And they also, in order to enter the catio, where do they go for that? If they want to enter to win the cat furniture.
Send us a picture of your cat, and you can send that to Pets Weekly, FelineFurniture.com, or to Facebook. You can find all of us there. And we'll get it, and we'll make sure that you're entered in the contest.
Oh, nice. Okay, everybody. So now you know what to do to win. And be good to your animals. Until the next podcast, take care, everybody.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.